Ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was only appropriate to start this video off with the devastating news that's been circulating around the wrestling community over the past week. I'm sure many of you have heard that the legend WWE Hall of Famer, the immortal Hulk Hogan, passed away, sending mixed reactions throughout the wrestling community and the world as a whole throughout the internet and media. Now, whether or not you agreed with Hulk Hogan's personal opinions or his decisions out of the ring, you cannot negate or disagree with the fact that he was a pivotal figure in putting WWE on the map in its early beginnings. Whether that be from television deals to media appearances, Hulk Hogan did it all. He was an icon and an idol to many individuals across the world, many children, many wrestling fans, and people in general. During his rise to the top, Hogan became a pop culture icon and is widely considered one of the greats of all time and on many people's Mount Rushmores. And with all that, there's only one thing to say, and that's thank you, Hogan, for your impact on the wrestling community and the world as a whole, impacting childhoods all around the globe. My condolences to Hogan's family. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tanner Davis and welcome back to another WWE predictions video. Today, we will be predicting WWE SummerSlam New Jersey 2025 match card. As always, please welcome the co-host, one half of Double D's, my twin brother, C-Day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so SummerSlam New Jersey featuring the host of SummerSlam, Cardi B. It's the first ever two-night SummerSlam ever. So this video may be a little lengthy, especially because C-Dave is in it. So we're going to start with night 1. We're going to get into night 2. We're filming this before Raw on Monday. So if any matches are added, we do apologize because we just will be out of town for the following week and we won't be able to get anything done. So we're having to record this before Monday, but the predictions video will come out later in the week. So we're going to get right into the first match.
I need to say something. It's SummerSlam New Jersey. I have a New Jersey and Cardi B is hosting. So take it away, Tanner.
That was horrible. Keep it in. Okay, thank you for that addition. So we're going into our first match on the card. It is a feud that's been circulating probably since the January Raw on Netflix debut, or around that time. We have Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, who have been having a heated rivalry for many, many months, as aforementioned. Their last match was that Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and we all knew that Sami Zayn would win, except for C-Dave. You know, he took the L by. We all knew C-Dave.
Kross didn't.
Yeah, we all knew Sami Zayn would win because it was Riyadh, Muslim and Muslim, you know, you know, they all get good together. But it's Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross at SummerSlam. Sami Zayn has been putting up with Karrion Kross's antics over the past few months. Karrion Kross has been injuring Sami Zayn, particularly in the ribs and the midsection. Sami Zayn was supposed to be out of action. Sami Zayn said, no, I'm going to fight Karrion Kross on Raw. Their last match was actually a few weeks ago on Raw, and Karrion Kross even furthered the injury onto Sami Zayn, and we haven't seen Sami Zayn since. So we're having a match at SummerSlam, and this may be the end of the rivalry. It may not be. Many people are speculating that this will be the end, and the winner of this match needs to win and get a boost up into the upper cards. And so C-Day, Saturday night's main event, just about the same except for one match, and that match you ended up losing. So I will get the first prediction, and even that, I also only did Evolution, so it's only right that I also get the first pick because of that.
You might have beat me by that one match. I won't let that happen again. Even though it was a one match different, there's going to be a lot of difference between this prediction video. I'm going to get myself a W because it's been a while.
Well, it's SummerSlam, so there's 2 nights. You have an opportunity to take a night, but just because you take a night doesn't mean you necessarily win the whole predictions video. And we will see in the next predictions video who does get the dub as a result of the SummerSlam match card. But like I said, the winner has to win. If it's the end of the rivalry, the winner is going... What are you laughing for?
The winner has to win.
I'm about to redo it. I was re-saying it.
Let me get...
So as I was saying, whoever wins this match, if it's the last match of this long rivalry, then they got to go to the upper mid card, maybe the main event. And the winner is going to be someone who many speculate need to get a big push. The We Want Kross chants, the We Want Kross trending hashtags all over social media. Sami Zayn won the last match on the PLE, the last big match. The Raw match doesn't really count. He ended up using a steel pipe, whatever. Karrion Kross takes the dub. Karrion Kross wins, and hopefully people see the push for Karrion Kross. Now, whether it happens or not, whatever. Regardless, the prediction, Karrion Kross.
I'm going to agree with you, Tanner. Sami won the last big match. It's only right that Karrion takes the dub for this one as well. I think you said it best with Sami's injury. It's going to be lingering still because we haven't seen him yet since the injury happened. And it's going to look like, you're going to be able to see it in this match. So for that reason, I'm going to give the same reason I gave last predictions video that they had a match. And I'm going to say Karrion Kross needs this more than Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn can just be out for a couple months, come back, and be right where he left off. So for this match, Karrion Kross wins.
So if you saw the last video that I posted on the channel, Monday Night Raw live in Birmingham, Alabama during the main event, it was a five-man gauntlet to determine Gunther's #1 contender, and we'll get to that #1 contender later in the evening. However, the match ended with an all-out brawl with the Brons and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed just attacking everybody. I don't even remember who all they were attacking. Like Jey Uso and CM Punk and guys like that, I think. It was Jey Uso and Punk, I believe. And all of a sudden you hear, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. And it was Roman Reigns, the OTC, the original tribal chief. The number one tribal chief returned, and if you didn't see that video, I actually put a card up. We'll put a card up right up in this top right corner so you can go watch it. It's becoming one of the most viewed videos on the channel. Definitely the most interactive video on the channel. It's given me a lot of new subscribers, so welcome to the channel, guys, if you're new to the channel. You saw that reaction, and the next following few days, Roman put on Instagram while he was working out doing some cardio on the treadmill, he said, Jey Uso, brother, I know we've had our past, but if you can trust me for one match, I'd like it at SummerSlam. Let's do a tag team match against the Brons. And so it's Roman Reigns, the #1 tribal chief, and Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, versus Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, with most likely Paul Heyman in their corner, and the Money in the Bank briefcase with no Seth Rollins. So, Dave, what is your pick?
If Seth Rollins was a factor, I think the landscape of this match would be completely different. But because there's no return in sight for Seth Rollins from him busting up his knee for probably the 5th or 6th time in his career, I'm going to have to give it to Roman and Jey. The Brons are going to fall short this match. We might see a little bit of Paul Heyman kind of switching sides back and forth, but at the end of the day, he'll probably stay with the Brons until Seth comes back. But for this match, I'm going to give it to Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. See, Dave, Roman and Jey get the dub. Like we were talking about earlier, you can't have Roman return and Roman not win. And I did say a little bit off camera that Paul Heyman could be like, oh, my tribal chief, I love you, tribal chief. And then allow the Brons to get an upper hand during the match. And that may actually happen, but it may not be the end. And eventually, something's going to happen to where Roman and Jey get the upper hand. You see a big splash and a spear from Roman, Superman punch, whatever, 1, 2, 3. And it's going to be Roman Reigns, Jey Uso taking the dub. But unfortunately, that means that's the L for the GOAT, Bronson Reed. If you didn't see the picture on me and Bronson Reed. I meant Bronson Reed. Yeah. Next match. This is probably going to be the greatest match of the entire card. If you watched Evolution, we had a 4-way women's tag team title match with the current champions of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss, and then Sol Ruka and Zarya. And I was like, during the Evolutions
predictions. I was like, oh, they're going to give it to Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Let's have some fun with this. Nope. Raquel and Roxanne retained. And I was like, well, eventually there's got to be a swerve. There's going to be a heel turn. Is Alexa going to turn heel on Charlotte? Is Charlotte going to turn heel on Alexa? I think they're going to swerve us and have Alexa turn heel. We will get to that in a minute. But for SummerSlam, Charlotte was like, Alexa, you know I'm the queen, and I got us a match. A normal tag team match for the tag team championships at SummerSlam. And so it's your current women's tag team champions, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. So the whole issue with this is that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are friends, but they're not friends. Like, they treat each other like friends, but then they won't call each other friends, and so it's just an icky word to them. So we can't use friends because they don't want to use it. But really, that's how they've been acting. They've been acting very cordial, very polite, helping each other during matches. We've seen the one-on-one matches recently that they've had, Charlotte and Raquel and Roxanne and Alexa, and I believe each team got one win, and so that really helps for the uncertainty and the unpredictableness, if that's even a word, of the match. But, like I said at Evolution, this has got to be Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss's time. Have some fun, put a championship on them, let them hold it for a little while, and then have one of them turn on each other, start a rivalry there, and then eventually somebody goes up into the main event spot and challenges for a championship. Because, to be honest with you, both of these women, they may not have that long left in their careers, especially Charlotte. But regardless, I'm going off a little bit on a tangent. So the winners of this tag team title match are going to be Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. For some reason, I just can't get out of my head that I don't know if they're going to drop the titles without Liv being there. And they might just be like, okay, Roxanne's enough of a replacement. But for me, the best thing to do would probably drop it with Liv there, because Liv brings a prestige to the title that Roxanne doesn't, in my eyes. So for me, that's enough of a reason to say that the Judgment Day is going to retain, and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez get the best and win. Another tag team match coming your way. If you saw just a few weeks ago, SmackDown in Nashville, they had a big special guest live in concert with Jelly Roll. And Jelly Roll came out, did a little thing, said hi to Randy Orton, which we'll get to Randy later. And Jelly Roll did a little concert, and it was honestly pretty good. It was a pretty good concert, but 30 seconds into the song, Logan Paul comes out and starts destroying the equipment and said, hey, stop it, stop it, stop it. You suck. Why are you wannabe coming into our industry and thinking you're going to be some wrestler or whatnot? And Jelly Roll knocked him down or whatnot. Drew McIntyre came out. Randy came out. That set up the Saturday night's main event match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. And Randy said, Jelly Roll, I'd love you to be in my corner. And then all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre just randomly shows up with Logan Paul. And so Logan Paul's in Drew's corner, Jelly Roll and Randy's. Randy ends up getting the win, but at the expense of Jelly Roll's, I guess, health. I don't even know. Jelly Roll tried to help when Logan Paul got up on Randy Orton, started beating him up, and then Jelly Roll gets claymored on the side of the head and gets knocked down by Drew McIntyre. And so by the end of the show, Jelly Roll said, Randy was like, Jelly Roll, I'm sorry I put you in that position, yada, yada, yada. Jelly Roll's like, Randy, I want them in a match. And speculations and rumors have been going on online that Jelly Roll has actually been training for a wrestling match for the past month or so.
You couldn't tell.
That's SmackDown. Yeah, Jelly Roll's lost a good amount of weight and everything, so he's looking primed up and ready to go for SummerSlam. Tag team action, the team of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. So a fun match we have. Obviously, this is the Summer WrestleMania, arguably the second biggest event of the year. That's why it's 2 nights. So see, Dave, that means it's your turn to pick. I got the last match. Who you got in this tag team?
I'm going to tell you what, and you mentioned it earlier. Jelly Roll lost all that weight so he could come in here and win a match at the WWE. With that being said, probably about today, actually, a couple years from today, it'll be somewhere around here. SummerSlam was in Nashville, so it only makes it right that the inaugural premium live event of SummerSlam, Jelly Roll's here.
because it was in Nashville a couple years back, and he was actually in the predictions video for it. So I'm going to give my prediction for this match, and it's going to be Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. I would love to see Jelly Roll get up in a Claymore and knock Drew McIntyre back, but if he's been preparing for this match, I would love to see it. So Randy and Jelly Roll win.
I agree with you. Randy Orton, Jelly Roll, most likely getting the W. It's a fun match in SummerSlam, New Jersey. What is going to be the consequence of Drew and Logan losing? Not really anything. As long as you have Randy knock him down and then Jelly Roll can do the pin or whatever. If they win, Jelly Roll's most likely going to, do the pinfall on maybe Logan. Who knows? And maybe we set up a big match at Survivor Series or something like that. A WrestleMania even, Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul or something. Maybe that sets up something down the line. But you got a fun match. You got that, like you said, at SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Summer WrestleMania. The team of Randy Orton, Jelly Roll are taking the W.
All this Jelly Roll talk make me want a donut.
Why are you cringe? I'm not putting that in. They make those jokes already.
Dude, he's about built like
Second to last match on the card. Before we end off the night one matches, we've got Women's Championship on the line. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and I guess the easiest way to set up this match is Queen of the Ring, Saudi Arabia, Asuka, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill won. Because of that, can challenge Tiffany Stratton for the World Championship at SummerSlam. So that's the match. The winner, in my opinion, and Jade Cargill being the favorite. I'm actually going to go against the grain because I think WWE is going to do that on a match like this and think, oh, Jade's going to win. Finally, Jade's going to get her thing. But honestly, Tiffany's been a pretty dominant champion. She's beaten the likes of Nia Jax. She's beaten Trish Stratus, a legend in her own right, arguably greatest of all time. And so, why would you stop that momentum all of a sudden? She just came off of the big win against Trish Stratus. Why would you take the title off of her now? If Jade wins, I wouldn't be surprised. Jade has worked her way up to the top. She definitely deserves it. But I think this may be a red herring with Jade Cargill being the favorite, and WWE may actually keep the title on Tiffany Stratton. Another thing I'll add, though, is that for Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, there's this stigma surrounding that if the challenger touches the championship during the build-up to their match, that the challenger does not win and the champion will retain. And we saw on SmackDown last week that Tiffany Stratton came out to help Jade Cargill while I believe it was Chelsea Green and the Secret Harvest went to attack her. And Tiffany Stratton came out to help. She ended up dropping the title in the ring to help Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill picked it up and was like, oh, look at my shiny new title. And so that's another reason why I think WWE is swerving us and that Tiffany Stratton is actually going to retain. So for that reason, prediction, SummerSlam Women's Championship match, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. My prediction is Tiffany Stratton, because it is Tiffy time.
Ain't no Tiffy time. I'm gonna tell you whose time it is. It's Jade Cargill's time. Because this is what's gonna happen. If you have Jade Cargill lose this match, the fans kind of write the storyline nowadays. They have a lot of influence when it comes to these kind of things. If you have Jade Cargill lose, I don't think she's going to run after Tiffany's title again. Regardless of what you say about Jade and Naomi being on two separate brands. You're going to have this kind of satisfactory factor of Jade going after Naomi and it being a bigger match than they had before, which would be a title match. That'd be the only way that it would be bigger. Jade has to win this match, not only for chasing another title for Naomi's, so they don't have to be put in that situation, because I don't think it's time yet. You know, they like to do long-term storytelling, and Jade winning this goes in favor of that. So my prediction for this match is Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I'd like to add, I'm with you with Jade and Naomi, and I think Naomi being on Raw really screws up the plans, because Jade's, like you said, the satisfaction needs to be Jade beating Naomi. That needs to be the ultimate goal.
For the title.
Or Naomi cashing in on Jade. But since Naomi already cashed in, it's got to be, look, you've got to hit that with that rivalry. And so what happens is you'll have Tiffany win, Jade keep chasing, eventually get to Naomi, and that's your WrestleMania, one of your big WrestleMania matches, and that's when Jade gets her big title.
I just think it's too early for that.
Too early for
to
Jade
start
to win?
telling that. Yeah, I think.
What
it's
do you
too
mean?
early.
This rivalry's been going on for a year.
I know, but it's SummerSlam. You kind of put a pause, let it simmer a little bit. Don't turn the heat all the way off, but kind of let it simmer, and then crank it back
They're
up.
on two different brands. How do you simmer?
Crank it back up once it comes to WrestleMania
He doesn't
time.
know,
I do
guys.
watch the show,
He doesn't
Paul.
know, guys.
I watch the show, Paul.
So that leads us to our main event of night one. Like I said earlier in the predictions video, Birmingham, Alabama, just a few weeks ago on Raw, the main event, 5-man gauntlet match. Gunther, number one contender, I believe, was like Bron Breakker, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Penta, Sami Zayn, maybe. I believe those were the 5. And the winner at the end, it was the 2 men of Bron Breakker and CM Punk. And CM Punk ended up coming up with the W, even with interference from Bron Breakker and Paul Heyman. And so, that leads us to our main event of night one for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Ring General, your World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther, versus the best in the world, CM Punk.
I would love to see a world title on Punk. It would bring me such joy. But the World Heavyweight title isn't the title for Punk. Not at this point in his career, after he's already the best in the world. You got to go after that WWE title if you're CM Punk. And if they decide that, hey, CM Punk's going to be the person to retire Cena for that title, if they have Cena hold it the rest of the year, that would be an option. But for me, this isn't the title for CM Punk to chase. And Gunther just brings such prestige to this title. He's a very good title holder in my opinion. And for me, he's going to keep it. Why not? WWE has already had him have it for several times. He's had a couple days without holding a title since his career in WWE.
Yes.
I mean, it's minuscule compared to his career, the days that he hasn't had a title. And you just keep it on him. So the winner of this match, the Ring General, Gunther.
People are questioning, is this going to be a good match or not? And the answer to that question is going to be, of course it's going to be a good match. If CM Punk was going against a guy like Jey Uso, it probably wouldn't be as good. But you got to understand, he is in the ring with the Ring General Gunther, who is praised on his work with his opponents, keeping his opponents safe, pushing his opponents to be their best during their matches. That's ultimately why he's the World Heavyweight Champion. We're going to see a good match, night one, main event. We're going to see a barn burner. CM Punk is not going to go down easy, but your winner of that night one main event ultimately is going to be and steal the Ring General Gunther. The Ring General Gunther. Now we're going to start our night two match card, ladies and gentlemen. In the main event of last week's SmackDown, we saw Andrade and Rey Fenix challenge the Wyatt Six for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, who just a few weeks prior, the Wyatt Six beat the Street Profits for that championship, and Andrade and Rey Fenix won a, four-way to become number one contender. Regardless, the match ended in a no DQ. Nikki Cross pulled the referee out of the ring. The referee was forced to disqualify the Wyatt Six. And as a result, an all-out brawl ensued with all the tag teams on SmackDown coming out and brawling. And so Nick Aldis come out and said, look, this is ridiculous. All of you teams, all 6 of you tag teams, the Wyatt Six, DIY, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxiom, and Andrade, and Rey Fenix, all 6 of you are going to SummerSlam in a TLC match where those championships are hanging high in the sky, and the first team to unfasten those belts and retrieve those championships will be the winner. So all of those names that I just mentioned, you can see the picture behind us. If you can't see all of them, go back and redo all those names. I'm not going to say them again. That's 6 teams. All 6 of those teams, WWE Tag Team Championships, hanging up above the ring in a TLC match. And I don't really have a reason for this, except I want to see Fraxiom hold gold. Is it too early? Maybe. But I like Fraxiom winning this match. It's a TLC match. They're both really big high flyers. They've got quick energy. They've got fast reflexes. And they were the number 1 tag team of the year last year, burning the house down every PLE on the NXT card. And so, you've ultimately got to reward that hard work. Fraxiom, Nathan Frazer, and Axiom, winner in our TLC opening contest for SummerSlam Night 2.
Fraxiom. You got me overwhelmed with all these names, these tag teams, these ladders. But I'm going to tell you what. There's going to be one team that's going to be climbing that ladder like my rising blood pressure in this prediction. And I'm going to tell you what. I do think that there is a good chance we could see someone like Fraxiom win this. I like what they're doing with Wyatt 6. I'm glad they finally have titles on them. They're not just letting them come in and be some jobber team and then eventually have them evaporate like R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. But that's going to be my prediction. They're going to climb that ladder, unfasten those belts, and retain. So the winner of the 6-man tag match TLC extravaganza Team 3D, get the tables, Devon. What's her name? The Wyatt 6.
Well, it's not a 6-man. It's a 6-way with 6 teams.
Oh, same difference.
And they're not going to climb the ladder. Actually, Bray Wyatt's ghost is going to unfasten those championships and
Dusty Rhodes
hand
will come out from the ring. Okay, you can continue.
This is a match that they've been teasing for like 3 months. Like, it's insane. It was supposed to happen at Night of Champions. Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles for the IC title, and Dominic said, I ain't going to Saudi Arabia. So they spin the story and said, Dom's actually been injured, AJ, and so you're not going to be able to fight him until he gets cleared. Then you'll have your match for the IC title. And just this past week on Raw, they finally announced that Dominic Mysterio was officially cleared. And so, the match is set for SummerSlam. Intercontinental Championship on the line. Your current champion, Dominic Mysterio, defending against AJ Styles.
This is such a hard decision to make because your little unspoken rule about, or the WWE's unspoken rule about, a champion has to defend their title every month.
Yeah.
They have to defend. But I guess Saudi Arabia kind of put a halt to those plans. You know,
it's like a rule in a rule book that if you don't, they have to relinquish the title. But they don't,
and they won't do it. But for me, it's been far too long for the AJ hype. And they just kind of strained it out. So you have to rebuild something else. It's not going to be this rivalry. And for me, Dominic Mysterio, I'm fine with him retaining. So I'm just going to say Daddy Dom wins this. Because he probably will.
I don't dislike the Daddy Dom pick. But I like AJ Styles too much not to win. And this has gone on for too long. And while Dom's reign has been super fun, there hasn't been many matches. There hasn't been many defenses. Additionally, he just showed up in AAA. I believe he's probably fighting for the Mega Championship or whatever championship he had. I can't tell the difference. I don't watch AAA. So if you do, please put it in the comments below. Clarify that for me. But he just came out to AAA. He's dabbling into that. Same with Los Garza. That's the reason they weren't in the 6-man, tag team ladder match, TLC, whatever. So I really like AJ Styles putting a championship on him and ultimately maybe putting him back up in the main event spot eventually and getting one more world title reign before he retires. So, prediction. IC title, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Our next match on the card, the Bloodline rivalry dynasty continues. For the United States Championship, your current champion Solo Sikoa with his family tree versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match. So Solo Sikoa might not even have his family tree. Because it's a steel cage match, who's gonna win? I've heard that WWE has really big plans for Jacob Fatu. Does that mean he gets in the world title spot? Right now, I don't think he's a fit for it yet. Not that he's not ready. It's just that it's so convoluted with John Cena and Cody Rhodes and all these older guys.
It's competitive right now.
Well, not necessarily that. It's that it's not for a new guy right now. There's just not room. It's like all these older guys, all these older talent are now fighting to see who's going to retire John Cena eventually. Randy may also get another match. Who even knows? And so is Jacob Fatu fit right there, right now? To me, the big plans are quite vague. Does that mean more media appearances? What does that mean? And a win against Solo Sikoa to reclaim his United States Championship, even with the family tree, the MFTs trying to interfere to help Solo retain, could be part of those big plans. And because I'm kind of on the fence with this match, I'm just going to say that the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, is your new United States champion.
Put a swerve on me right there.
I'm a swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa.
I really thought talking about it you were gonna go with Solo. But that makes my prediction just so much better because my explanation, and if you're watching this far, please put in the comments, #CDaveCanCook. It's greatly appreciated because I'm about to cook with this prediction. You want to talk about setting up for Survivor Series? This is it right here. Solo and his Talatongas, his Tongans, his whatever you want to call them, versus Roman and Jacob Fatu and the Usos. You're going to have another Bloodline Survivor Series, and this is what's going to set up for it. If you keep having Jacob chase for that title, it would make that rivalry so much better. So for him to continue chasing means that he cannot win the title in this steel cage match. When you're in a steel cage match, there's not a lot of space for you to run around. So the Tongans, the 7-foot Tongan, the 6-foot Tongans, all the Tongans can just go in and start beating up on them. And there's nothing the rest can do about it because it's no DQ. So the only option for me in this long storytelling WWE likes to do, Solo Sikoa wins.
We've got a long build up for this next match. WrestleMania 41, Lyra Valkyria, Bayley qualified to fight the tag team champions at the time, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, at WrestleMania. Right before their match, however, just a few hours before WrestleMania 41 even started, Bayley was found backstage attacked by a mystery person. And so Lyra Valkyria needed a replacement. Who was that replacement? Becky Lynch. Becky and Lyra went in, won the tag team titles the following week on Raw. Liv Morgan and Raquel got a rematch. Liv Morgan and Raquel reclaimed their championships. Becky Lynch turned heel on Lyra Valkyria, and the weeks that were following announced that it was her who attacked Bayley backstage, and Becky Lynch had a big heel turn. Lyra Valkyria at the time was the IC champion, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, and Becky Lynch and Lyra went back and forth before Bayley even returned. They ended up having a match at Backlash where Lyra retained, and at Money in the Bank, it was Becky and Lyra for the second or third time. I cannot remember. I believe it may have been for the third time. They may have had a match on Raw. But it was the second PLE match of their rivalry where Becky Lynch came away with the win and became your Intercontinental Champion. After that, Lyra wanted her IC title back. Bayley ended up returning, saying that she deserves a match versus Becky. And they couldn't seem to find a number one contender because Bayley and Lyra kept interfering with each other's business. And so Adam Pearce ultimately said, hey, look, Evolution is coming up. We're going to have a triple threat match. Bayley, Lyra, Becky, your champion, Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. And I honestly thought the title was going to change hands. And I ultimately thought it was going to be Bayley to get her get back on Becky. But in a surprising fashion, Becky Lynch ended up hitting a roll-up the same way she did at WrestleMania 35 in the main event and retained her Intercontinental Championship. And just on the Birmingham, Alabama Raw, which you'll see in the vlog that's coming up in a few days, maybe in a week, Bayley and Lyra had a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. It was like 45 minutes long. My mama was right next to me. She was falling asleep, really.
It was a contenders match.
Yeah, crowned the number one contender, 2 out of 3 falls match. And Lyra Valkyria ended up coming up with the win. And so that brings us to SummerSlam Night 2, Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. Your current champion, Becky Lynch, defending it against the former IC title holder, Lyra Valkyria. Woo! 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 Crow Girl?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
The more I see Lyra, the more I start to like her. I wasn't the biggest NXT watcher, even back then and even now. So I really didn't have that connection when some of these talents got upgraded to the main roster. So she's starting to grow a little bit on me. That's not enough for me to pick her to win this match. It's big time Bex. What are we talking about? This is the man we're talking about. And the man only wins on the biggest stages of them all. If you're trying to compare SummerSlam, the first 2-night SummerSlam, to WrestleMania, this is it. And this is a big stage for big time Bex. So, Becky Lynch retains.
Oh, thank you. The Becky Lynch glazing was insane. Yeah, that's a good point about NXT, is that Lyra Valkyria is the woman who beat Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship. So they've kind of still had animosity since then. The respect's been high, but since Becky's been heel, it's been animosity. But Lyra Valkyria, to me, is going to get her get back during this match and continue the rivalry with Bayley. And Bayley maybe eventually get that IC title from Lyra Valkyria. But for all that to happen, Lyra's got to win it first. And your winner for the Intercontinental Championship match is going to be Lyra Valkyria. Where are you starting next? We only got 2 more matches.
I gotta take a long sip of my water.
I got a feeling, ooh, that SummerSlam's gonna be something. I don't have any expectations, but I'm singing because I'm waiting on C-Day to drink. That was good harmonizing. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was. I couldn't have done that if I didn't have a nice long swig of that water.
Okay, no. So, if you saw Evolution, which we'll get to that main event, which people considered fantastic, and we'll get to why in a little bit. But WrestleMania 41, we saw Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, women's world title on the line. And whoever the champion was, it was Io Sky walking in, but that doesn't matter. Bianca Belair got injured in that match, so it became a Rhea Ripley and Io Sky show up until this point. So Evolution main event, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley was your challenger, Io Sky as your champion, and the match went on for like 50 minutes. It was so strawed out for the first like 25, and then it got really good. They got a brawl out and everything. They get back into the ring, they're killing each other, and that's probably why the match was so long, because all of a sudden Naomi music hits and Miss Money in the Bank cashes in to make it a triple threat, and Naomi becomes your women's world champion in the main event of Evolution. And the writing, it was so unpredictable. It came out of left field. You didn't expect it to happen. That's what a cash-in needs to be, and WWE wrote that very, very well. They've been writing their women's Money in the Bank cash-ins very well the past few years. Tiffany was pretty good as well. Great writing. And so, what that brings us to is Adam Pearce again. The women, they couldn't find a number 1 contender, and so Rhea Ripley and Io Sky both made their case on why they should face Naomi. So Adam Pearce ultimately said, look, we're going to have a triple threat Women's World Championship. Your current champion, Naomi, who cashed in at Evolution in the main event, versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, who are both former champions. And I think the winner here is obvious. You don't have Miss Money in the Bank win it and 2 weeks later drop the title. A Money in the Bank cash in is supposed to cement your positioning at the top of the card in the main event. And so Naomi's got to stay there for a little while, and her character work to me has been, nothing short of phenomenal. She's been very good with her character work, especially after she had such a mediocre character before she got fired and went off of TNA. And she's really showing her true colors and her personality with this. And Naomi is going to have that championship for a little while. And however long she has it, I don't know. But your winner for this triple threat match is going to be Naomi. And I'll add, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky better proceed with caution.
Now I'm gonna dissect this just a little bit.
No, you don't have to. Just
It's not gonna take as long as you just took. I
have to set up
promise.
matches because you don't watch the show.
I promise. But look, I'm a hater. So this, I can't stand that. I'm not a big Io Sky type of guy. I think she's a big botch queen, and you're right. That's another thing we have against Noah Broccoli, because I was talking to his dad about that match, and he thought that match was phenomenal, but the pacing before the big spot, that match was nothing to talk about. And then the cash-in made me even more mad, but I don't want to get into that.
That shit was good.
If I had to decide who was going to win this match, it's either going to be Naomi or Rhea Ripley. And then I look at it. Why would Rhea Ripley win a triple threat match? To me, it just doesn't make sense. She's got to win a title one-on-one. That's how Rhea Ripley is. That's how Mammy is. And so for that reason, for those two reasons, because I just can't stand this, and then Rhea Ripley, you're replacing Bianca for Naomi. We saw this match at Mania. So I have pretty high expectations for this match. I want it to either reach that standard, maybe a little bit lower or higher, somewhere in that ballpark. With the explanations I gave earlier, the winner of this match is Naomi.
So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this main event, the final match on the card. I mean, you know what it is. Farewell Tour. John Cena ends up winning the Elimination Chamber, turning heel, faces Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, wins the World Championship. He's fought at every single PLE this year for the retirement tour. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton final for the King of the Ring at Night of Champions, and we thought Randy was going to get the upper hand. We wanted to see Randy and Cena run it back in what was such a great Backlash match. The producing and writing is what made it so good, not necessarily the wrestling. But Cody Rhodes gets his get back and he continues the story. Is he going to finish it for a second time? Yada, yada, yada. So it's John Cena, undisputed WWE Championship on the line versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Does the GOAT win it? Does Cody get it back? I mean, what's happening, C-Day? Just tell the folks what you got.
I like Cody Rhodes, don't get me wrong. What I don't like about Cody Rhodes is the glaze. Oh my gosh, it is like overly glazed. You could glaze several dozens of donuts and it still wouldn't amount to as much glaze as Cody Rhodes gets.
More glaze than a whole Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. It's just, there's so much glaze on Cody Rhodes right now, and I just need another person in that mix. I'm tired of just regular original glazed donuts. Give me something, some chocolate. Give me some blueberry cake glaze. That's what I like. If you haven't had it, go try it out. Give me something different. All I'm getting is this same old, same old. But if
I like custard field.
And I like jelly rolls.
That's cap.
I do like jelly rolls. The strawberry and the raspberries are good.
Okay.
I do like them. So, if you look at this, how does John Cena win his matches most of the time? Usually with the ref out, he does a little bit of shanky move and does some DQ move that would ultimately get him disqualified if the ref was conscious. But now you bring a street fight into the mix where it's all balls to the wall. So he can do whatever he wants, so he's going to. John Cena's smart. He's going to figure out and use whatever he has at hand to win this match. Nobody's going to beat John Cena till the end of the year. So for the main event of SummerSlam, and to end my part in this beautiful predictions video, John Cena wins this match, the greatest of all time. What do they call him? The No C-17 or something?
Never before seen 17.
Never before seen 17.
Yeah, I was thinking, are we gonna see another like Bloodline Rules match where everybody who just beat John Cena kind of come out and try to help Cody like finish the story again? And if that happens, we could literally see like The Rock return. Like, this is a street fight. They're making it a street fight so that they can write something like that. That is the whole reason why they're doing this. They're not, a street fight. You're not gonna see John Cena and Cody Rhodes tear the roof off of the place, you know, with the wrestling match. You know, it's gonna be
chair shots.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. And so the street fight element, although it seems boring at face value, because who cares about who's ever cared about a street fight, you know? But this could be a opportunity for WWE to write in something that we may not expect. Like I said, The Rock returning. That could be something that we don't expect. You know?
Maybe Cody sold his soul this entire time.
I'm getting to that point. I'm getting to the point is that everyone online is saying that there could be a double turn where Cody turns heel and John Cena turns back to babyface and kind of brings back that glory of, yeah, I'm John Cena. I'm never give up. I'm this, that, and the other. Do I think that's going to happen personally? No, I don't think that's going to happen. John Cena should stay heel to the end of his retirement tour, honestly. That's what you do. You've got to make this heel turn worth something. But it's definitely possible for it to
happen. So regardless, whatever happens in this match, it'll definitely be entertaining. We're definitely going to see something that we don't see a lot of. And with John Cena, anything can happen. His insight is invaluable and his ideas are great. And so it's still not enough for Cody Rhodes to win the championship back. John Cena needs to hold it to the end of the year. He's one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. And so, for that reason, for the main event, Night 2, SummerSlam, New Jersey, featuring Cardi B, your winner and still your undisputed WWE Champion, the greatest of all time, John Cena. So, ladies and gentlemen, that closes us out for the SummerSlam predictions video. Maybe it was a little long, maybe it wasn't. I kind of enjoyed sitting down and just talking and not worry about really the pacing or the length of the video. If y'all watch it, y'all watch it. If you don't, you don't. If y'all are concerned about, the length of the video, y'all want it a certain length, just put it down in the comments below. Your feedback is invaluable. Your criticism is great. And so, yeah, that's going to do it. We still got Double D's and Booty Busters. I know y'all been patiently waiting. We've just been very, very busy over the past few months. We're getting ready to get back into school. But we've got something that's going to be very exciting for y'all in terms of the rivalry that we believe is going to be very enjoyable. Now, it's taken us over a year to get it done. But we're going to come out with it soon. And as soon as that comes out, it won't be long till the match comes out after that. So, y'all be expecting a certain video. If it's not the match, it's not going to be the match. It's something you'll know. But it has to do with the rivalry, and so once that happens, you'll know that the match is right around the corner. But, ladies and gentlemen, SummerSlam, New Jersey, put your predictions down below who you believe is going to win. We've got a first ever two-night SummerSlam. It's going to be great. Hopefully, it's exciting, it's fun, it's something fresh. That's going to do it. We thank you so much for watching. C. Dave, is there anything to add? If you made it to the end of the video, please put Cardi B versus Jelly Roll. Huh? Man. Yeah, go ahead, subscribe, go watch my videos. And so the more you watch, the more you subscribe, the more Bacon McDoubles we can afford. Because honestly, we're running low on stock, guys, and capacity. Like, I'm almost to my last crumb with my last Bacon McDouble.
Might just have to order McDoubles.
Yeah, we may just have to order normal McDoubles or just a regular single cheeseburger.
And then we can't get our donuts.
So please subscribe for our sanity, because the more you subscribe and the more you watch, the more I can eat. I haven't eaten in 3 days, guys. It's been horrible. Please. So we're thank you again. Thank you for all the new subscribers on the channel. Go ahead and watch more videos while you're at it. As always, my name is Tanner Davis, alongside my co-host, my twin brother, one half of Double D, C Dave. We'll catch you in the next video. Hope you have a safe, fantastic, amazing rest of your day. Goodbye.